Hello and welcome to our channel. I'm Shambhavi and you're watching Live Law. Today we are exploring a troubling and controversial practice that's been making headlines across India. The arbitrary demolition of houses and properties, often referred to as Bulldozer Justice. This practice raises serious legal and ethical questions. We'll dive into what Bulldozer Justice means, its origins, recent developments, and why it poses a grave threat to the rule of law. In recent times, we've seen a troubling trend where authorities resort to demolishing homes as a form of punishment or urban development. This raises several legal and ethical questions. Today, we'll explore two major areas: the demolition of houses belonging to accused individuals and the demolition of slum dwellers' homes without proper notice. First up, let's look at the issue of arbitrary demolitions. Recently, the Supreme Court has been dealing with several cases where demolitions were carried out without proper procedure or notice. Notable examples include recent demolitions in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and a controversial large-scale eviction order in Delhi. In Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, urgent applications were filed challenging these demolitions. Senior advocate C.U. Singh highlighted a case where an ancestral home was demolished without notice, leaving the family without access to their property. This case raises significant concerns about procedural fairness and the right to shelter. Advocate Fauzia Shakil's application involved a property in Udaipur where a house was demolished due to allegations against the tenant's son. Shakil argued that such actions are arbitrary and that the property owner, who is personally aggrieved, deserves judicial relief. These demolitions raise serious legal questions. Under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution, everyone has the fundamental right to life, which includes the right to shelter. Arbitrary demolitions without due process undermine this fundamental right and erode legal protections. Bulldozer justice is a term used to describe the demolition of homes belonging to accused individuals, often with dramatic flair and significant media coverage. This approach is touted as a quick solution to public outrage. But does it truly serve justice, or is it a dangerous deviation from legal principles? This trend began with Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, who in 2017 declared, quote unquote, "My government will bulldoze houses of anyone even thinking of perpetuating crime against women and weaker sections of society." This statement marked the beginning of a controversial approach to handling crime in Uttar Pradesh. The practice gained national attention in 2020 with the demolition of properties linked to gangster Vikas Dubey and MLA Mukhtar Ansari. Later that year, Mumbai's demolition of parts of Kangana Ranaut's building following her critical comments against the Maharashtra government further highlighted the practice. These actions were praised by some as decisive, but they also raised questions about legality and fairness. Bulldozer justice became a symbol of a strong leadership, with rallies celebrating Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath's 2022 election victory featuring bulldozers. The term bulldozer baba and bulldozer mama became associated with bold, controversial political figures. From a constitutional perspective, bulldozer justice is a blatant violation of the rule of law. It undermines the principle of a fair trial guaranteed under Article 21 of the Constitution by demolishing homes before a court has declared someone guilty. Such actions violate principles of natural justice and result in disproportionate punishment. Consider the case of Adnan Mansoori, an 18-year-old whose home was demolished in Ujjain over an allegation of spitting during a procession. Despite spending over 150 days in jail, Mansoori was granted bail when the case fell apart. This example underscores the severe injustices caused by these extrajudicial measures. Reports indicate that marginalized communities have been disproportionately affected. Demolitions followed riots in Jahangirpuri, Khargon, Prayagraj, and Nuh. Amnesty International condemned these actions as cruel and discriminatory, highlighting a troubling pattern of targeted demolitions. In response to these issues, the Punjab and Haryana High Court intervened, halting demolitions in Nuh and criticizing the practice as a form of ethnic cleansing. The Madhya Pradesh High Court also condemned the practice, stressing that demolitions should be last resort and not a tool for political expediency. Recently, the Supreme Court has expressed its intention to establish pan-India guidelines to address the misuse of demolitions as punitive actions. On September 2, 2024, a bench comprising Justices B.R. Gavai and K.V. Vishwanathan heard petitions challenging these bulldozer actions. The court has asked for draft suggestions to frame these guidelines and emphasized that demolitions should follow proper legal procedures. Justice Gavai and Justice Vishwanathan voiced concerns about using demolitions as punishment even if a person is convicted. They stressed the need for guidelines to ensure that demolitions are carried out in accordance with the law and due process. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta clarified that demolitions should not be based solely on accusations but on legal grounds. In the wake of these developments, the Supreme Court's move to establish comprehensive guidelines is a crucial step towards curbing arbitrary demolitions. While the court has yet to make a sweeping declaration against this practice, the recent hearings signal a recognition of the need for a structured approach to prevent misuse. For context, in 2022, the Supreme Court heard petitions related to a demolition drive in Delhi's Jahangirpuri, which was ultimately stayed. Petitioners argued that using bulldozers as punishment violates legal norms and the right to a home under Article 21 of the Constitution. Former Rajya Sabha MP Brinda Karat was among these, challenging the demolitions conducted by the North Delhi Municipal Corporation following communal violence. Senior advocate Dushyant Dave also highlighted concerns about state governments increasingly resorting to demolitions as a punitive measure. To understand the broader context, let's revisit the landmark case of Olga Tellis versus Bombay Municipal Corporation, which significantly shaped the interpretation of the right to life in India. In 1981, the Maharashtra government decided to demolish makeshift shelters along Bombay's pavements. Petitioners, including journalist Olga Tellis and pavement dwellers like Angamuthu and a cobbler, challenged the demolition, arguing that evicting them without alternative shelter violated their right to life under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. The petitioners contended that their right to life includes the right to livelihood and that eviction procedures should be fair and reasonable, not arbitrary. They argued that the Bombay Municipal Corporation Act and other relevant laws should be adhered to, ensuring that evictions are carried out with due regard for the affected individual's rights. The Supreme Court ruled that the right to life is expansive and includes the right to livelihood. It mandated that no slum or pavement dwellers could be removed without proper rehabilitation measures. The court's verdict emphasized that eviction without providing alternate accommodation is a violation of the fundamental right to life. While the government argued for the need to keep pavements clear for public use and safety, the court recognized the harsh realities faced by the pavement dwellers. The judgment highlighted the need for a balanced approach to urban development and the protection of vulnerable populations. The Olga Tellis case set a precedent by affirming that the right to life under the Constitution encompasses the right to livelihood and fair treatment during eviction processes. It underscored the importance of adhering to legal and procedural norms to ensure justice for the underprivileged. So, what do these cases and historical precedents reveal? They underscore the critical need for adherence to legal norms and established procedures in demolition and eviction processes. Protecting the rights of affected individuals and ensuring due process are essential for upholding justice. The rise of bulldozer justice represents a serious threat to the rule of law and the justice system. If unchecked, it will undermine public confidence in the judiciary and erode the principles of justice and fairness. As always, it's crucial for us as a society to stay informed and advocate for justice and fairness. If you found this video informative, please like, share and subscribe to Live Law for more updates on legal issues. Share your thoughts on bulldozer justice in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching and see you next time.